Okay, you guys, this month is all about getting repeat orders. Jen and Megan just did some follow-up trainings for you, and I'm going to continue on with that topic. But here, I want to stress something to you. Posting on Facebook and waiting for a reply is not follow-up. Let me say that again. Posting on Facebook and waiting for replies is not how us as leaders are running our businesses. So if you are wondering why things are not working, if you are wondering why you're not getting repeat orders, are you doing follow up? Okay. So follow up is using the Connect app, looking at the time, like contacting people one on one in text message or the way that they had contacted you for the order in the first place. If you are not following up with people personally, one on one, okay, you will notice your business go backwards. So yes, we all join in the very beginning of our business. We post something, our friends see it, our friends see it. People are now ordering from us because we're new in the business and they want to order some stuff. So you probably did well in the first, say, 3 months of your business because your friends and family place orders with you. After your first 3 months of business, you guys, this is when you need to step up and now do the work. You need to step up and now do the work. And posting on Facebook is not how you get repeat orders. Yes, you'll receive repeat orders if you are posting things or if you have a really great community of customers and you've been working on it for a really long time. I've been working on communication with my customers for so many years. And so now I receive repeat orders all the time. But that's not because I'm posting on Facebook. I don't get any orders from posting on Facebook, honestly. I don't run my business on Facebook. I don't know if you've not ever noticed. I do not run my business on Facebook. I post something on Facebook, you see no orders coming through that. And it's because that is not the way I am receiving orders. Okay. I receive orders because I emailed. I receive orders because I personally text message somebody. I receive orders because of the other things that I am doing offline and not because I post something that I grabbed from this group page. I am not receiving those orders, you guys. Okay. Some people are, and some people do a little bit. Some people do a lot. Some people are very successful with that, but I am not one of those. Okay. One thing that has been 100% successful for me is messaging people follow up texts. Okay, so if you have not been following up with people, you need to start doing that ASAP. Right now, you need to just be like, okay, I had lots of orders in the wintertime because it was Christmas time, but have I actually gone back to personally message each of those people? Or have you just been posting on Facebook hoping that they see it and hoping that they um, contact you for an order? Please, please, please don't run your business by posting and hoping you're going to get engagement. If you've not been getting engagement, it's probably because you've not been creating relationships with your customers. Okay. So when Jen has spoken about the 222 follow-up, if you have not been doing that, I suggest that you immediately start doing that. So here's like an honest thing from me. Okay. When I do coaching calls with my team, when I do coaching calls with people who want to get to director, when I do coaching calls with people who want to become director, star director, superstar director, and we are doing a coaching call and I say, do you do follow-up? Have you done follow-up? How do you do follow-up? If you have not done follow-up, your task after the phone call with me is to do your follow-up. If you don't do follow-up calls, you do not get a second coaching call with me. Follow-up is the biggest basic thing in your business that makes you successful. Period. That is honestly, honest to God, you guys. If you are not doing your follow-up, you cannot succeed in this business. You have to start creating a relationship with people, not just by sale, 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 sale. That's not how you create relationship. Them posting and you wanting them to place an order, you posting, you wanting them to place an order. That is not how follow-up should be or should feel. Okay. So go back, make sure that you're watching Jen's follow-up training. She talks about the 222 system, 2 times without a sale, third time with a sale. And I'm going to give you the biggest challenge of your life if you have never done follow-up before. Or if you have putting follow-up off to the side, you've done it, but not a whole lot, or you've done maybe a quarter of what you should have been doing, or you've only done 2 and you should have been doing 20. This is for you. Okay. I want to give you a major, huge challenge right now is to complete your follow-up. Go back, look at every single customer that ordered from you between September and February. Let's say February. Yeah, because the sales follow-up call is about the 3 months back and prior. Okay. So the challenge right now is for everybody to do their follow-up with every single person that ordered between, say, September to February. If you've been a consultant longer than that, try and work in follow-up for the past year. And you'll want to listen to what Jen said about the light bulb follow-up call. Okay, so that is super important. When you feel like you can't follow up with somebody, you go back and tell them that either would you like the new catalog or do you need light bulb follow-up? Anyways, please, 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 I'm going to give you the biggest challenge of at least doing 25. If you have way more customers that purchase from you before February, then you need to do your best to try and connect with all of them. Okay. Now, here's a big tip when you're doing your follow-up. Okay. Follow up with people the way that they ordered with you. So if they ordered via PWS, if they went onto your PWS and placed an order, that's totally different. Okay. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So that is email. So you're only going to email those people who do a PWS order because they don't want a relationship with you usually. Okay. If someone sent you a Facebook message, if you were chatting through Facebook message and that's how you received their order and that's how you got paid, you're going to now you connect using Facebook Messenger. If they contacted you on cell phone text, just your regular phone cell phone text, and you're not friends on Facebook, you're going to make sure that you contact them through your cell phone, okay, the text. And so, yes, is it hard? Absolutely. Your first couple times of doing follow-ups, it can be difficult to hear no. But not everybody needs an order every 3 months. Not everybody needs an order every 6 months. So someone who says no today doesn't mean they're not going to need wax in 3 more months, right? It just means no for now because they still have the stuff that they have, okay? So tip, make sure you're contacting the people the way that they contacted you. So that's number 1 tip. One of the things that I did want to talk to you quickly is how I was able to change my business with email and text. Okay. Not just regular follow-up, but just how I was able to kind of change my business with relationships via using these 2 things. So there's a lot of you. So in my beginning of my business, I just remember everybody doing open houses. And I was just like, oh, okay, I have no friends. I'm a hermit. I'm not an extrovert. So I literally have nobody around me other than my customers. And so I had to figure out a way to get repeat orders all the time. So that's when I, back in the day, realized that follow-up was huge, huge, huge. Okay. I was not getting repeat orders because I was not asking for them. So I had to make sure that I was out there figuring out ways to get repeat orders. But one of the things that I was jealous with everybody else is everybody else had very successful open houses. They would put plates of food out. They would have like 20 people come by. They would have an open house. And here's me for 3 years doing an open house every new season. So I was doing an open house in the spring and one in the fall, and nobody was showing up. And I never told anybody. It wasn't something I posted on social media. It was never successful for me. Open houses never were successful. And I was just like, how in the heck am I going to get people to come to an open house? And I literally, just because 1 or 2 didn't fail, it wasn't just 1 or 2. It was literally at least 6, okay, until I figured out what the frick I was doing wrong, okay? So one of the things that I was doing wrong was I didn't have a personal connection with my customers. I didn't have a way to connect with all of them at once. And back in the day, we didn't even have Facebook to begin with, so whatever. But I decided I was going to start a VIP customer texting service. So it's just a group text. When something brand new launches, I was posting in there. If I went out and was doing an event somewhere and had Scentsy set up somewhere at an event, I would text that out. I would text out sales whenever they were happen. I would text out when clearance was updated. Like all these things, I was texting this group of customers. And so that was my first big idea, was to have a VIP customer texting service. And I've had it all these years. And that's how I keep my customers updated, my local customers updated. That's how I keep I'll stress that. It's usually been local customers. That's how I keep them updated. And I still, a lot of you have your VIP customer groups on Facebook, which is great. I don't have that. I just don't enjoy having another group always going. But it works for many, 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 many people. So keep doing that if that's what you want. But I focus on my VIP texting, and I only send out new stuff launching, sales, where I'm going to be in the city for a show and all that. And then I started doing like giveaways. And then once I kind of got my VIP customer, I think it was like I had it going for 6 months. And then my first open house after that, I had like 15 people show up. I sold, I think, like $800 worth of stuff just by having them come by to my open house. I had food, but I just remember for so many years before then, I felt like an idiot because I never had anybody show up. And then all of a sudden, this VIP texting service really changed the way my business worked with my local people. Okay. So that's one of the things that it's just a group text. We don't chat back and forth. It's only for me to send information out. But that's one thing that I just kind of always offer my local customers if they want to be a part of my texting service. So that is something that changed the way my business ran from my home. Was that. The next thing I really started focusing on was not just regular follow-up, because that's always a work in progress. You always have to make sure that you're on time doing your follow-up every month, kind of going back and seeing who you can follow up prior. But I actually started working with emails 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And why did I start working with email? So I started working with email because I decided I was going to start emailing my customers when sales happen, when LTOs launches. So one of the biggest things that I did with my business, because LTOs were just launching like crazy, like Star Wars and Disney. So I actually went and got a box like this. I still have it. And anytime something launches, I write it down. So this one is my Star Wars card. And it's so I don't forget what's on this list. And I have it for everything. I have Stitch there. I've got Snow White. I've got Mickey and Minnie. I've got all the Marvel stuff when they go. So I'm just literally writing a list. Here's Harry Potter. I'm just literally, yeah, Harry Potter's on the back too, because there's so much stuff. But I've literally just made a list of everything that Scentsy launches when they launch. So it's easier for me to connect with people who have already purchased things. So my biggest, another huge tip, when you're going to use email follow-up system or any type of follow-up, whatever, is keep a list of what people are ordering. Anybody who orders Star Wars from me, I have them tagged inside of my contacts tab. So when you open up a contact in your contacts tab, right underneath their name, you can add a tag. And a tag is just a word, right? Go create the tag first. There's a place to go manage tags. And so I'll have a tag that says Star Wars, okay? When I open up my customer's name and I click apply tag, I then go click on Star Wars, okay? Also, if there's a flash sale, I will go back to everybody who purchased from the flash sale. I will go back to every single customer and I'll click on apply tag and I'll tag them as a flash sale. Okay. So also I do it for laundry and cleaning supplies as well. So those are two huge things in my business, or I'm making them huge. They're not huge yet because it's not something that I've totally focused on. But in the past 6 months, I have started creating a list of everybody who's purchased laundry from me and everybody who's purchased cleaning products from me. And I've tagged them in the contacts tab as so. And so when Scentsy launches a new washer with, I then send every single customer that is tagged an email about the new washer with launch. And so by keeping track of what your customers are ordering and tagging them, I mean, you don't have to tag them. If your customer base is less than 100, I mean, you can remember who they are, literally. You can have these things. You can put, say, Star Wars. Instead of writing all the Star Wars products, you're going to write all your customers' names who are purchasing Star Wars. Okay. Um, uh, and that's how I used to do it. But now that the system is easy, they keep track for me in the contacts tab. But that is how I used to do it. Actually, I think I probably have. I must have got rid of them when I. No, I don't. I must when I switched over to using the contacts tab, then that's probably when I switched these out. But just fill these out, you guys. You got Scentsy Scentsy Laundry. Anybody who purchases laundry, put your customer names underneath this and then keep it in a box. When Scentsy launches something, that is when you email, okay? Because then it's targeted to the right people. So anyway, so how did my PWS orders actually exploded when I started emailing? There's that thing, that one. Not only that, all of my customers receive email. So even though I'm doing regular follow-up with them, when a flash sale happens or when a new launch happens that they have purchased before, they're going to receive the email as well. So if I could give you another big tip is get people's email addresses. Um, and that's so you can kind of notify everybody at the same time. So here I'll tell you how my flash sales went. I used to never work with flash sales. I never used to sell from flash sales because I always wanted my team to be successful with flash sales. And I didn't have time to message people. I did not have the time. And so what I decided to do after a couple of years, I'm like, hey, how can I make this so easy? And so I started utilizing email. I started emailing people. When a flash sale started, I would email. I went from 0 online orders to the most I've had was 40. This last flash sale, I think I had like 38 online orders from the flash sale. So I usually range between 10 to 40 based on what type of flash sale we have now. But that is something that has totally changed in my business, is email and the amount of orders I'm receiving because of email. Okay. Especially for my people who like to do PWS orders. If you don't have a lot of customers that order on your PWS, it's not a big deal. Okay. But they make sure that there is a clickable link that they can reach you. Your contact information is on the email. Your website address leads to your website so that they can connect with you. And if they want to purchase online, there is always the link to do so. But some things that I do with email is number one, every person who has ever placed an order with me will receive flash sale email. Okay, that is important. Number two, when somebody places an order on my PWS, I always send them 2 weeks after their shipment arrives. I always send them, I'm just making sure that you received your order and everything is okay. And I get the most replies from that email because I'm not requiring a sale. I just want to know if they'll receive their stuff and they're happy. Okay. In that email, I will then say, these are the things that are upcoming. I have links towards like new collections that are upcoming. I try and make the email short, but then I have a couple little things on the bottom that link to the new things in the new collections that are coming or available currently. So I make sure that they have that. And then tagging is huge for me. I make sure I know what people want, what people are ordering, to make sure that I tag them or write them down on one of these. Um, Guys, especially the laundry and cleaning stuff. I've been like super focused on laundry lately. I've been sending out samples and stuff to some of my customers for laundry. People who have been purchasing laundry are still purchasing laundry. They still love the laundry. And so make sure that you keep a list of the laundry and cleaning supplies, people, because when a new cleaning supply comes out, you can send a picture and an email and say, this is now available. And it doesn't have to be on Facebook. Not everybody is on Facebook. And not only that, the algorithms are crappy sometimes. So a lot of people are not seeing your things. Even though that you are posting them, even though you are posting them in your VIP group, a lot of people are not seeing the posts. So that's why everybody gets an email. Okay. So I would recommend that when new things launch and you know what your customer likes, that you start emailing it out. But those two things are things that kind of changed my business a little bit, was focusing on emails and focusing on um, texting people, and making sure that you are asking people if they would like to place an order. So literally here, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to stress to you how important follow-up is. And follow-up isn't an email. Follow-up isn't posting and hoping somebody's going to order. An actual follow-up is connecting one-on-one with that person. Now, PWS orders are different. I'm email, so an email technically is a follow-up to me. But if they did not place a PWS order and they've been a customer of yours personally, and you've text messaged back and forth or anything like that, then that deserves a follow-up, personal follow-up in a text. Okay. So I'm literally going to push you to actually follow up with somebody, not with somebody, with lots of people. Anybody who placed an order from February and earlier, you need to follow up with them. So anyways, I I don't even know how much I can stress to you that that will work in your business. If you have been in the habit of posting and hoping, posting and hoping, posting and not getting engagement, posting and not getting nothing, okay? That is not how you get repeat orders. You do not get repeat orders from posting and then doing nothing, okay? You get repeat orders by opening up your Facebook Messenger, going back to the conversations of people when you were sold to them, and you ask them if they want another order of whatever they ordered. If they ordered 3 bars, you're going to ask them if they want to order another 3 bars. If they ordered 6 bars, you're going to ask them if they want to order another 6 bars for the spring. If they ordered 12 bars, you're going to say, would you like another 12 wax bars? I'm placing an order this Friday for the new spring fragrances, or something like that. That is how you do proper follow-up. We have a lot of team members who have come into the business, who did really, really well for the first 3 months, and now they're wondering why they're not. Okay. So you probably did well with posting, but now you're probably not. So I really want you to take this advice. You have to one-on-one message people to get an order. And that is never going to change in our business. Doesn't matter where we are in our business, what year we are in our business. You cannot come to me and say follow-up does not work. You cannot come back to me and say that, because I know it works. I know it still works today, and it worked yesterday, and it worked 10 years ago, and it worked 15 years ago. Okay. Follow-up does not change. You have to create the relationship between you and your customer for her to want to order from you again. And it doesn't mean that you contact them every month for an order. No. You contact them 2 times without an order, to an order after 3 or 4 months that they haven't placed an order. And if they say no, that doesn't mean no forever. That just means that no, they don't need anything at this moment. They might need something in the next 3 months. So you have to make sure that you continue your follow-up. And I don't know how much I can stress that. And I know there's so many of you who are not doing it, but I do know there's so many of you that do it, because I can see it. I can see you guys working your businesses. You guys, a lot of you are doing so wonderful, so great. And a lot of you are working towards director. And to get to director, you have to keep those customers. You have to, like Jen said, keep it as like boutique style customer service. That is what it is. Anyways, have yourself a great day, you guys. I don't know if you learned anything today, but if you have questions about, I know I talked about tagging and it's really hard to understand, but if you need more information on that, I might have another training about it. But anyways, have yourself a really great day. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Get yourself some repeat orders. It's not going to be the customer reaching out to you. It's always going to be you reaching out to the customer.